Hey, Queen. So, do you also want to do it? So, women also want to have sex and they also want to do it, not just men. So, yeah, in fact, this is true. And maybe it is because all of my clients are females, but I very well know that sex addiction in women is even more than in men. But forget about the addiction. Let's just talk about how much you want that too. Okay. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because in a lot of my videos, I talk about, oh, like how men con you into doing it, or how you fell for it, or how, like, he's not waiting, but it's really you who wants to do it. I had an inquiry not long ago, someone who wanted to do coaching. First thing she told me was, but I want to do it as well immediately now. I want to know if he will be good in bed. And she's like, I'm not willing to sacrifice that part of my life. I need to know if he has the right size, if he will perform this and that. Okay. Of course, she's in her 40s and single, and she will remain forever single. That is the big lesson that we're gonna learn in this video is when, how, why. Okay? There is a place and time for everything. So a lot of times I get comments in the videos that say, oh, but women want it too, or like something alluding to those effects. And I'm like, well, what are you doing in this channel? So there's millions or trillions or channels and people that talk about living la vida loca. Yeah? That tell you how you want something, you get it. You want to fuck, you fuck. That's what you want to do, you do it. And I'm like, sure. But it's like saying, well, what if I want to have vodka for breakfast every single day? Well, maybe you are 17 years old and you just discovered alcohol and you're partying and this is what you want to do. You need to get it out of your system. Like, who cares if it's bad for your liver? You need to get it out of your system. Well, so you do it. Now imagine that you continue that until you're 40, 50, 60. So what did you become? Not only an alcoholic, but you're about to die of cirrhosis. So now, imagine, which is what I see every single day, imagine the girl who is doing the same thing she was doing at age 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, all the way through her 30s. Jesus Christ, what the fuck is that? Up until her 40s. Of course, in her 50s, it'll be difficult to continue that because she'll hit menopause. She won't feel like doing it anymore. She's all dried up. Literally, the drive is gone. And this is not an exaggeration. This is real life. There's women that are out there in the hookup cycle, in the hookup culture, the same way they were doing it when they were 20. up until they're in their 40s, late 30s, 40s, whatever. So what I want to say to you in this video is there is some place and time for everything. If you are dating for marriage, obviously you're going to have to do things differently. God freaking knows that when I was ready to date for marriage, I had to be a completely different person and do something very different from the type of men that I dated, from my behavior to everything in between, than when I was 20. It was all fun and games when we were in university, yeah. It was all fun and games, those university years, okay? Partying in Ibiza, this and that, Rome. But then when I hit 26, I said, you know what? I should start thinking about dating for marriage. And I started adjusting my behavior. So what I want to say is like, well, what is your goal? What is your purpose? What are you dating for? Are you dating for fun? Are you dating for sport? Are you dating for free sex? What are you dating for? Are you dating for marriage? Are you dating for wait, let me find the common one. Oh, I'm dating for love. I'm dating to find the one. Well, guess what? That is like dating for marriage. It's the same thing. If you don't want marriage, what you will find is an infatuation that will last a year or two, maybe 4 years, but by the fourth year, you're going to be so worn out. You're going to be fucking sick and tired. You're going to be damaged and pissed off and bitter. The reason why I'm mentioning this is I literally just had an inquiry the other day saying, hey, I'm 41. I've been with this boyfriend for 4 years. When is he going to propose? Like he just won't. She's like, I did everything. I did the rules, this and that. And I was like, girl, start dating someone else. Start dating rotational dating, like circular dating. Right? So what I want to say is like, if you don't know why you are dating or what your purpose is, you don't know what you want, well, then don't cry in the corners if things go south, if he treated you like shit, if he ghosted, hot and cold, if he dragged you along for years. You don't get to cry then. You get to freaking take radical accountability and realize, well, I didn't know what I wanted and I acted randomly, so I got a random result. Simple. So, first step, think about what it is you want from life. If you're 19, 20, 21, sure. You have the excuse of being a little, but you don't get to cry. You get to assume the consequences of whatever goes on. If you get pregnant by mistake and you get to have an abortion and it traumatizes you for life, if you end up with a heartbreak, and let me tell you, heartbreak is nothing short of a freaking nightmare. Is trauma trauma in full-blown like capacity, and it only adds to your bitterness and this and that. So you want to be in your 20s, mess around, have fun. You don't get to cry. You assume the consequences of whatever it is that you're doing. Having fun has its consequences. Let's talk about fun. I want to have vodka nonstop. I want to party. Well, I don't get to complain about getting fat, feeling like shit, getting depression and anxiety, being unproductive, this and this and that. You don't get to bitch and moan about it. Just suck it up and go on to the next binge. Same thing with the hookup. You want to continue to hook up into your 20s, 30s, 40s. Just don't cry about it. Don't bitch about men. Don't complain about, oh, the dating today is like fucked up. Like, no. You assume radical accountability for what it is that you are doing, being into the hookup culture. You're doing it in your 20s, fine. Because you need to get it out of your system. You need to get it over with, this and that, because I think it's rare to find someone in their 20s and be like super highly conscious and be like, you know what? I don't need to experiment that. Like, I'm fine, like, learning with other people's experience. In regards to boyfriends, I was like that. No, I don't need to experience that. It's not going to teach me anything. I'd rather wait for the one. Okay? Instead of being like half of the planet's girlfriend. But anyway. So women want to do it too. Sure, do it if you want to have fun. And I'm sure there's going to be someone saying like, oh, but like the two can coexist. There's exceptions to every rule. And that's a really long topic. And we talk about that a lot in my one-on-one coaching, in my course, all of that. But the general rule is there's something called human nature. Men have a particular human nature where if they get that from you, they'll typically see you in a different light. They will not have the respect that they would if you waited for a real commitment. And no, a commitment is not a couple of nice words. I'm talking about real commitment, life commitment. If he worked for it to the point of committing to you for life, the effect is completely different. It's like a huge prize for him. It's like something he'll value. Whereas if you do it for fun, aka give it to him for free, he's just going to move on. So don't be unknowing about the human nature. Be aware of it. And if you decide to go through with the fun and games, just know the consequences. That's it. Don't cry about being pregnant by mistake. Don't cry about heartbreak. Don't cry about being ghosted. Don't cry about fade outs. Don't cry about being strung along. Okay? Now, if you want to maintain yourself safe from all of those things, I'm not saying be guarded, like just close your legs, yeah? So do guard that. But if you have that goal of being married off into forever and being treated like a queen with like a really high respect, for you to be able to command that respect and earn that, respect yourself first, okay? And that's a topic for another time. Why I'm saying that is to respect yourself. But if you don't know it, we'll talk about it some other time. And yeah, just know the place and time to be wild like an animal Yeah, that's what it is, right? And no judgment. Like, hey, I've been young too. Freaking God knows that. Okay? So I've been young a long time ago. So yeah, I'm not here preaching from a high horse. I'm just telling you, if you want to get married, be respected, date for marriage, just hold the big thing they're hunting after. Okay? That's one of the things. So there you have it. I hope this is not really direct. It has a lot of you know, sort of metaphors, but you get the gist. Let me know in the comments if this resonates or if it doesn't. If it doesn't, I'm not here to debate. So I'm here to tell you what I see. And hopefully that helps. So I'll see you in the next.